Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's Zach, back with another video for you. We have here the January 19, 2025 push session. It's a morning push session, nice and chilly this morning, around 25 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And it was a good one. Pretty good session. First things first, I want to talk about how I'm feeling after leg day yesterday. So let's see here. Quads have been pretty sore today, although not very sore. So I will most likely be adding a set. Actually, let me go ahead and do that. Get my logbook open anytime I'm recording here. So, the weight change jump scared me. What are we doing? Going up to 65 pounds for the load here for second warm-up set. So where was I saying here? Yep, increasing the reverse Nordics to 3 sets rather than 2. And that should hopefully remedy the not very sore quad situation. So how about hamstrings? How do hamstrings feel? Yeah, hamstrings are both very sore. I did a fair bit of housework today, and every time I bent over to grab something, ooh, my hamstrings, they were screaming at me. Alright, didn't get jump scared that time. Loading up so now we've got a 10, a 5, and a 2.5 on the bar, so that makes it 65, 75, that's 80 pounds. So this is the working weight. And yes, I do remember doing a 2-rep potentiation set and then going into the first full-on working set here. You can see the focus on my eyebrows there. Definitely prepared for the increased intensity of the drop in reps in reserve, because once you drop down, I basically know I'm either increasing the load or I'm going to have to push some extra reps out. So it's just a little bit more serious. But legs, yes. So hamstrings are very sore. That's great. I will keep the straight leg deadlifts the same. Glutes, not that sore. There's not a ton I can do about that. I could add in some more high bar back squats, but then the way I'm doing them right now, I'm trying to do them in a quad focused manner, so that's not really going to help me. But I guess I could add a set of straight leg deadlifts. I think I'm going to leave it for now because they are sore. They're just not as sore as the hamstrings. But yeah, I'll go ahead and just leave it as is. And then, of course, calves are moderately sore. Actually, they're not very sore at all. So I will go ahead and increase the calf raises to 3 sets. And let me see, did I do it? Okay, yeah, it looks like I already penciled it in for tomorrow, the 20th. I've got those incline curls supersetted with the calf raises, and I already increased it to 3 sets of calf raises there. So that is perfecto. So that's all of our indicators from leg day. So what's next here? Yes, I wanted to talk about warming up, since we just did a couple sets of it there. What's the whole point of warming up? Well, I guess the most basic thing to think about is body temperature is actually important for a lot of different things. And if you're going to purposefully exercise or do resistance training like I'm doing here, it's a good idea to increase your body temperature. There have been a few studies that show that increasing body temperature can improve high intensity performance. It also kind of changes the way that force development occurs in the musculature. It happens a little bit quicker, actually. clicking on over to slightly inclined dumbbell bench press. But going back to what I was saying, so it's a good idea to actually heat the body up. And I was saying that increasing body temp, it has a whole bunch of different roles, and your body regulates temperature pretty efficiently. Like I know for sleep, it's easier to fall asleep, or I think your body actually requires your temperature to decrease a little bit in order to fall asleep, and then it needs to increase a little bit for you to wake up, or I'm not sure if it just makes it easier, but I know it's somehow involved. But there's some decent data on there or out there about warm-ups and how they can be beneficial. For me, for my purposes here, I'm doing hypertrophy workouts, trying to build muscle specifically. And so my primary reason I like to do warm-ups, and specifically warm-ups with the movement the way that I'm going to do it, is to reduce my risk of injury. And, because of the whole workings of those Golgi tendon organs and neuromuscular memory, like, movement, your body being able to reproduce movement patterns that you've learned before, stuff like that. There's some really good reasons to warm up, so that's why I do it. Now, as far as how to do it, of course, like I just mentioned, I do specific warm-ups, so that would be like doing the actual exercise that I'm about to do working sets of, and just doing it with a lighter load, focusing on the form or whatever technique I'm going to use throughout the movement, throughout the working sets. Now, another thing you can do is what's called a general warm-up, and I actually do a general warm-up before I start doing those specific warm-ups. And my specific warm-ups directly precede the actual working sets. So, for example, the layout of one of these sessions, you guys pretty much see the whole thing. You guys see all the actual sets of lifting. The only thing you're not seeing, which I actually did include in my earlier videos, I just thought it was a little repetitive and kind of dizzying because I would speed it up and everything, but I do a very short general warm-up where I'll just do like some self-hugs, some like horizontal movements with my arms, some vertical movements, some hinging at the hips, and then if it's leg day, I'll do some swinging my legs, swinging each of my legs while holding on to something at the hips, just to get warmed up that way. But you certainly don't need a general warm-up. The specific ones will do just fine for most purposes. So that's probably enough about warming up. Now, overhead press and dumbbell bench, how did those feel today? They felt pretty great. It's the overhead press, I think that's probably one of my weakest lifts, is the overhead press. I don't know how I would compare to the average person, but I know for people who lift for a while, there's some pretty crazy numbers that I see out there. Now, of course, social media kind of hyperinflates everything, but 80 pounds. I did 12, 9, and 7 at 2 RIR. That's pretty good for me. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I could reference this logbook here, but I don't think I did. I did some dumbbell seated overhead press, but I mean that doesn't really translate to a direct overhead press. Anyway, I think maybe I'm at, or maybe a little bit above where I was, probably a little bit above where I was. I think the reps were lower, in like the 8 to 10 range with this weight last year. So definitely getting stronger, but there's a reason I put it at the beginning of the workout. It's something I'm weaker at, and so I'm trying to work on not only the skill of that movement, but just putting in work with the muscles that are performing it. Because if I'm weaker in it, then my potential to grow is actually quite a bit more, because my potential for overloading it is just super duper high because I'm so weak at it. Essentially, I can bring it up for a long period of time and grow the muscles. Yeah, I can grow the muscles of the shoulder, and that's me want big shoulder arm, so me do overhead press. Now the dumbbell bench press, that one feels solid. It's a dumbbell incline press. Feels great. I'm getting super duper deep into that eccentric stretch. Feels really good. No pain or anything there. Now, markers for stimulus after today. How am I feeling? Chest is almost sore already. Now, it is about 11 or 12 hours after the session. So, I don't know if that gives you any additional information, but getting sore within the same day usually tells me, like, oh yeah, that definitely did something. And then let's see, triceps. They're almost sore as well. So definitely this push day is pretty locked in. I only have to usually modify a little bit of volume here and there, but these exercises, I think, and the way I put them in there, the order of exercises, I think was a pretty good pick. So I am definitely happy with the layout of this session. But let's move on over to the flies. So doing a warm-up set here for the flies at 15 pounds, which is pretty stout. Feels solid. This exercise it's not my favorite. I was mentioning the last time I posted a push session video that I wasn't really digging the elbow situation. I was having a little bit of pain there, so I started trying to open my hands. I guess it would be pronate my hands as they approach the bottom of that eccentric bit there. And it felt a little bit better. I feel like I was feeling it stretch my chest a little bit more rather than like tweaking my elbow and my bicep. So I think I'm going to stick with that going forward for the time being. I got consistent reps with what I got last time. So, hopefully that gets rid of the pain and keeps me strong. So for reps here, let's see. I will mention, since this is, week 3, we're at 2 RIR now, so either reps or load should increase. Reps, let's see. Load was the same on overhead press, but reps went up by 1, 1, and 1, I think. Yep, 1, 1, and 1, so that tracks. Dumbbell incline bench, same situation, gained a rep on each set. The tricep extensions, we kept the same reps on the first set, but that tracks because I noted on those previous sessions that whenever I made that adjustment to my form, after seeing the footage, I started slowing down the eccentrics, and that let me get a little closer to failure a little faster, so it kind of snuck up on me. So it makes sense that I'm at the same reps starting here. But I'll just try to push a little harder in the next 2 weeks. But got 15 and 13, so I did gain 1 rep on the tricep extensions on the final set, but kept it on the first one. So the flies, I gained 1 rep on the first set and 2 reps on the second set, and that's probably a result of that little change in the form that I did there, opening up the pronating the hands a little bit towards the end of the movement. You can kind of see me doing it here. But yeah, guys, that's our January 19th push session. It was a really good one. I'm probably going to be pretty sore tomorrow, and I am really looking forward to pull day. I love upper body days. Getting a pump in the upper body is so much more satisfying than a lower body pump when you're massing, because I can't really see anything in my legs right now. They're so like, I'm so like full of water and sugar, and I got a few extra pounds of fat on me. So, oh, actually, which reminds me, I didn't actually get to it in this video, but stay tuned tomorrow, guys. I have an update on a potential cutting phase coming sooner rather than later. So I'm going to throw the stats here on the screen for you guys, and I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I hope y'all have a good week and a great month. Appreciate you tuning in. See ya.